Mojtaba publicly mocks Trump after Iran boldly captures enemy ships right through the failed US naval blockade. Mojtaba celebrates wildly as IRGC forces seize multiple Israel-linked ships directly under the US Navy's helpless watch. Mojtaba throws Trump's own infighting accusations back at a confused America amid spiraling war chaos. Mojtaba delivers powerful message to fired-up Iranians after the massive missile parade thunders through city streets. Iran's Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei has doubled down on a message of national unity as the Hormuz standoff and US naval seizures continue to strain the fragile truce between Washington and Tehran. Mojtaba praised what he described as extraordinary unity among Iranians, framing it as a political and strategic asset that has bolstered Tehran's resilience under external pressure. In his April 23 message, Mojtaba said that the cohesion observed among the people has disrupted the plans of Iran's adversaries, particularly those relying on internal divisions to weaken the state. He added that Iran's visible social and political cohesion has caused a fracture in the enemy camp, altering the way adversaries assess risk and calculate their next moves. Mojtaba also warned of a broader psychological and information war aimed at shattering Iran internally, cautioning that propaganda and targeted messaging are designed to erode morale and trust. Mojtaba Khamenei said, and I quote, "Due to the remarkable unity created among compatriots, a fracture has occurred in the enemy. The enemy's media operations, by targeting the minds and psyches of the people, intend to undermine national unity and security. May our negligence not allow this sinister intent to come to fruition." Unquote. The message came shortly after President Trump suggested a split between moderates and hardliners within Iran's leadership, implying that Tehran's internal factions are at odds over how to respond to US pressure. In response to Trump's claim, Iran's president, parliament speaker, and judiciary chief jointly issued a statement to reaffirm a unified front, dismissing Washington's narrative as an external attempt at provocation. The three leaders emphasized that the nation and its institutions remain one soul, underscoring a public line of solidarity even as debates over strategy may continue behind closed doors. In recent days, Iran has also retaliated in kind to US Navy operations, including the seizure of Iranian cargo ships at sea, as both sides test the boundaries of the extended ceasefire while maneuvering for leverage. On April 22, Iran released a video showing its naval forces seizing commercial vessels that it described as linked to Israel, increasing pressure in the Strait of Hormuz. The ships were accused of violating maritime regulations that Iran has imposed around the strait, according to a report by Iran International. The footage was described as the first video of this kind of enforcement operation since the war began on February 28, giving viewers a rare glimpse of Iran's new blockade-style posture. Iran's semi-official Tasnim news agency reported that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, carried out the operation, underscoring its role in controlling the waterway. Amid the ongoing standoff with the United States, Iran claimed to have seized 2 ships and taken them to its shores, portraying the move as a test of its authority in the region. This marks the first confirmed instance of Iran formally detaining foreign-linked vessels amid its own blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, crossing a threshold in the naval confrontation. The IRGC also issued a strong warning alongside the operation, emphasizing that it will treat any attempt to interfere with its control of the strait as a serious provocation. The IRGC warned that any disruption to order and security in the Strait of Hormuz would cross a red line, indicating that further incidents could trigger a more escalatory response. US intelligence assessments have indicated that Iran still retains thousands of missiles and drones despite weeks of sustained strikes, suggesting that its core military capabilities remain far from eliminated. Sources speaking to CBS have said that a significant portion of Iran's missile and naval capabilities continues to remain operational even after the truce, raising questions about the overall impact of the campaign. According to CBS reporting, Iran's defense network is still active, with key missile and drone systems not fully degraded despite repeated attempts to weaken them. The same report adds that much of Iran's arsenal is likely hidden underground, limiting the effectiveness of strikes and making it harder to accurately assess the true extent of damage. The White House has dismissed the CBS report outright, rejecting claims that Iran still retains significant military capacity after the conflict. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt sharply criticized CBS, accusing the network of doing PR for Iran, while maintaining the administration's stance that Iran's capabilities were effectively obliterated. Leavitt also asserted that the US military had severely damaged Iran's defense industrial base under Donald Trump's leadership, emphasizing the scale of the strikes carried out. Both Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth have repeatedly claimed that US operations during the war resulted in the obliteration of Iran's military programs. However, the Pentagon has previously acknowledged that Iran still retains the ability to launch missile attacks despite the damage inflicted on its infrastructure. US officials have also flagged Iran's drone capabilities as a continuing challenge, noting that these systems remain difficult for air defense networks to fully counter.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.